Touching the body parts prior to washing hands in the morning for Negel Wasser upon awakening. So one of the restrictions applicable prior to washing hands in the morning after awakening is touching body parts. Numerous questions arise regarding this restriction. To which parts of the body does it apply? What is the source for this restriction in the Paiskim? May one touch these parts of the body with a cloth and the like? What if one has an itch in the middle of the night? What is he to do? Do children have to be careful in this? And how does one control his child from not sucking his thumb? So it states in the Gemara in Shabbos, and it's brought down in the Shulchan Aruch of the Mechaber and of the Alter Rebbe, that one is to refrain from, that it is forbidden to touch the following body parts prior to washing hands. As it says, as the Alter Rebbe records, one may not touch his eyes lest he become blind. He may not touch his ears lest he become deaf. His nose lest he contract bad smells. He may not touch his mouth lest he become mute and have bad breath. He may not touch his genitalia. And it is likewise recorded in later Paiskim like the Mishnah Berurah that one may not touch any opening of a wound and orifices of the like. All in all, in total, the areas of the body that one may not touch with his hands prior to washing are the orifices, are the areas that contain holes. All the areas that we mentioned, which are the nose, the eyes, the ears, the mouth, the genitals, and an open wound. Although as the Alter Rebbe quotes in the Kana 4 or 5 based on the Gemara that touching these areas can lead to danger, it's brought in the Seilis Blula that this is not referring to a physical danger, as one can ask, well, I've seen many people that aren't careful of Negel Wasser and they haven't become blind. The Seilis Blula explains that this is talking about spiritual illnesses and insensitivities that relate to those parts of the body, and not necessarily to a physical illness. Regarding if one may touch other parts of the body, such as the arm, the leg, the stomach, the back, such as if one has an itch and he wants to scratch it. So it is proven from all the Paiskim that do not mention such a prohibition that there is absolutely no prohibition in touching the other parts, and the prohibition and restriction is only towards the areas of the limbs that we mentioned. This is also written explicitly in Alter Rebbe in the Siddur, which states as an Asa to touch the uncovered parts of the body even though one has impurity on his hands, hence proving that there is no prohibition at all or restriction at all involved in touching other parts of one's body before washing. Regarding if one may touch the external parts of these limbs, such as may one touch the outside of his nose, lips and ears, etc., or is it only the inside that is restricted? So this matter is disputed amongst Paiskim, and it is implied from the Alter Rebbe, like the stringent opinion, that one may not touch even the external part. May one touch the above areas using his palm or his arm, meaning not his fingers? So the answer is that the area of the impurity is the hand itself. So one may not use his palm to touch these areas, but he may use his arm to do so. It is only the fingers and the palm that is restricted. May one use a cloth in order to scratch or itch these areas, these orifices that are restricted? This question especially applies when waking up in the middle of the night and one does not desire to wash hands. So it's brought in Achreinim, the Ktseis HaShulchan, based on the Alter Rebbe as well in the Mishnah Berurah, that it is permitted to grab a cloth, not a clothing, but a cloth, such as a hand cloth, in order to touch those areas, and no restriction applies. It is only when the fingers or hand directly touch these areas that there is a restriction.